Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It is May 24th when I'm recording this, and I want to be talking about the monthly, weekly timeframes, but we are coming into Memorial Day, and Simpler Trading is running a 30% discount on a lot of things in our store. So if you guys were ever on the fence about trying to pick up something, buy something, membership, like courses, indicators, you name it, now's the time to kind of get in, check it out. We've got 30% off, and who doesn't like a good sale? So come on over there, use the code MEMO30, and you can check this out at simplertrading.com or talk to one of our customer supports and get it there. All right, so one thing to kind of keep in mind. I'm recording this on a day where it was a pretty brutal day today. A lot of things were down. The market was down. It started yesterday, so today was Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. But let's take inventory a little bit. I've mentioned this before. I've had a couple other videos out there talking about the larger time frames, and my line in the sand has been the monthly 10 SMA, and we can see on the S&P we're over that. Every single major index is over the monthly 10 except for the IWM. And I have spoken about this. I really was looking at this. I was like, oh boy, this might be spelling doom because we were right here getting rejected by the daily 50, whereas every other time it was able to get through there, and the Moxie indicator was looking great every single time, but this time looked different. But then the market just didn't go down, and this is something that I think we need to be aware of. And so for now, it held the double bottom. And now we're back over the daily 50, and I'm going to have to wait and see if this is going to work. So it looked real bad. It was right on the brink of falling apart, and it didn't. And so I'm having to kind of back away from what I was looking at as far as the doom and gloom and all that kind of stuff. And so as I said, the IWM is the worst one, but you know what? It's it's not falling apart. All I can say is that. So let's take a look at some other stocks out there and what they are doing. So something like MNDY, Monday.com. What are we seeing here? On the monthly chart, these things have stopped going down, and now they're starting to engage with uptrending monthly time frames, moving averages on monthly time frames. How about weekly? Look at it starting to engage with its weekly 50 SMA, and look at the Moxie indicator getting up like this. Something like this. It's looking pretty good. Some of the other things I've been posting about. How about the ARK ETFs? Now, again, say what you will about ARK and Cathie Woods and you name it, and this sector, yeah, it has gotten absolutely hammered and absolutely murdered. I get that. But we're using this as an indicator, as a bellwether. And this week, we managed to push up through the weekly 50. Now, we still have a couple days. We'll see what happens. Yes, kind of did it before, but I would consider this coming into the tail end of this move off of the low. This is starting to look like this could pop over and hold over this moving average anytime soon. And we have a double bottom here. Heck, we even have an inverse head and shoulders here. I mean, it's looking like this thing is done going down, and the next thing it wants to do is generally move up. Now, the real question is when and how. So that's just kind of the challenge out here. So I just want to show you kind of these higher time frame charts and say, you know what? A lot of these names look like they've been repriced and look like they are not interested in going much lower. Of course, that's not everything. This is not a everything running type of market like we had in 2020, but there are some things that are trying to indicate to us that maybe they're ready to move up. Look at ARKF. Here's your double bottom, and now look at this. We are over all the moving averages on the weekly time frame, and we are over the monthly 10 on the monthly time frame. Doesn't look too bad to me. The only problem, the only challenge is that it's going sideways, and the question is, will this continue to move up? Okay, so if our worst situation is that we're having to deal with some sideways chop, which I get it, has been real tough, but if we're trying to look at the bigger picture, what are we seeing? I mean, even Palantir, not saying that this was exceptional, but this is just an indication of what we're seeing. Another inverse head and shoulders, and look at this, big moves. Again, the challenge is dealing with it right here. When it's up, down, just chop, 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 and trying to figure out exactly when it's going to take off. There are some things that I can show you and teach you down on the hourly time frame that we've been talking about in the trading rooms and all that kind of stuff at Simpler Trading to show you exactly why this moved up. But if we're just looking at the overall thing, like what are we seeing? We're seeing that there are a fair number of stocks that have stopped going down and they're starting to move up. So that was Palantir, ROIV. This is another one. I mean, look what it's doing. Yes, had some really big moves, pulled back, and you know what? It seems like they're trying again. They come up, they pull back, and they try again. So, this looks like a pretty good name, pretty good ticker. Redfin, this thing has been pretty choppy. I've been trying to trade something like this. It's been a little bit challenging, but what I can say is it looks like it's done going down. Now, trying to find the exact place and timing, sure, that can be a little bit difficult, But look what it's doing. It's over all the moving averages. It's starting to engage with the moving averages. You got the Moxie indicator above zero, and same thing here. Look, it's holding the monthly 10. So, if you're going to be an investor or something longer term and you can kind of hold through some of these things, I think we're starting to see some opportunities and green shoots. How about SMG, Scott's Miracle-Gro? Now, this might be a little bit of a proxy for the cannabis industry, although it is one of the best ones going out there for this kind of thing. Or it could be summertime. It could be a summer seasonal name. Either way, there's your double bottom. And look, it is trying really hard. Look at that, trying to hold these moving averages and actually stay on top of them. It doesn't look too bad to me. Let's look at DUOL. Here's another one. What'd it do? Double bottom. Right in through here. And you know what? Starting to engage with these uptrending moving averages. It got really overbought, pulled back, up again. So this thing's starting to move and do well. Mara, even Bitcoin and crypto. Now again, the challenging part with many of these names is that they are basing. They may or may not have done something yet. They might have done a little bit of something, and now they're just kind of resting again. This is the challenge when it comes to trying to find the exact way they're going to move. A lot of these things are moving on earnings, so that could be a challenge. But if we're looking at the higher time frame and we're just looking at and saying, hey, is the worst behind us, or is this market going to fall apart? There are starting to become opportunities that are presenting themselves. Notice we have the cross of the moving averages. And again, notice we are over all the moving averages on the weekly chart. And so far, this doesn't look terrible. It looks like it's just kind of sitting here. And it's trying to get over the monthly 10 as well. So even showing you like the high beta, like the risky of the risky, are starting to not look terrible. How about DV? Again, with the double bottom and starting to engage with the moving averages. Now, let me just show you one thing here. There are names, like look at this. See how it tried to get over the monthly 10 and it wasn't ready? That's fine. We have to understand that some of these things are going to take time as they base. This is the challenge of trying to figure out when exactly are they going to go up. But once they start to present themselves, they're starting to be constructive. They're starting to get over the moving averages. All the moving averages are stacked properly, and things are happening. Look at CRSR. And again, fair number of names. I built a very long list for the Moxie subscribers about what's going on out here and things to watch. And a fair number of them are looking pretty good. Look, we have another inverse head and shoulders, and we're engaging with these moving averages. We're starting to move up, and the Moxie price trigger is above zero. These things are looking decent. The only challenge, I suppose, with something like this, it's kind of still doing very much of a wave. So, but, put a channel on it. Maybe it'll start moving up like that and following the channel. Squarespace. I feel like probably everybody or anybody watching YouTube probably knows about Squarespace, but they do a really good job advertising. But look at this. It's stopped going down. The Moxie price trigger fired. It's over the moving averages. And look at this. It looks like it's pulling back. And again, over moving averages. So, go out there, do some searches and see if you can find names that are looking good in situations like this. How about Upstart? Now, Upstart, again, just starting. Upstart is just starting. But what's the deal? What are the things that are in common with these names? And what is it that we're seeing? What we're noticing is they stopped going down and they're starting to cross their moving averages. And they're starting to get over their major moving averages. Again, maybe you can't just close your eyes and jump on these things and, ride them out, but they're starting to turn up. They're starting to do some things. How about, Weight Watchers? Now, Weight Watchers is based on some news. They've the diabetes drug that they're now using as a weight loss drug. They, I believe, bought a telehealth company that can sell it, and obviously huge volume. And it did get a little bit overbought, but it's coming back into support. It looks like it's just flagging until maybe it wants to go higher. But huge volume. It stopped going down, and now it's up. There are opportunities out there, and I think we just need to kind of just be aware and look at the bigger picture. Sometimes we can get a little bit stuck in the nitty gritty, and I understand that yes, some things are very overbought. We're up here, we're very, very high on things like the NASDAQ, but we're in an uptrend. So, of course, pullback can be brutal, so we need to have good timing, but in a situation like this, we are still technically in an uptrend. I can't see anything other than this besides pullbacks for now. All right, guys, well, thanks again, and remember, if you're interested, We do have the Memorial Day sale going on. Come over here. You can check out Simpler Trading as a whole. If you like how I look at the markets, you can come over to simplertrading.com/Moxie, and we have sales on just about everything. So thanks again, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.